Please read the following disclaimer. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. And here is the second part of the disclaimer, just in case I go crazy with the editing on this one. Please enjoy. Hello everybody, my name is Zubinduber. I welcome you once again to my closet and for another Transformers review. And we're just going to roll right into another Studio Series release if you saw my last video. But today we are taking a look at Transformers Studio Series 86, More Than Meets the Eye Collection, Voyager Class Autobot Hot Rod. Hasbro, why are you so bad at naming these? Anyway, I picked this up from my local Target, surprisingly, and I actually have a funny story tied to that I'll get into later. But yeah, let's just get this box out of the way. Oh, wait a minute, I need that. Almost forgot to mention the artwork on this box is especially nice. I don't know why this artwork sticks out to me so much, but I really like it. And also this logo for the 40th anniversary of the Transformers the movie, or as they call it on the top of the box, the Transformers Le Film. I don't know, I like it. I think it's cool. So yeah, like I said earlier, I managed to find this at my local Target for tariff prices, by the way. America, thanks for not making sense. But I found this guy, and this was one of those figures I just thought was not going to be easy to find, like, at all. I just figured he was going to be one of those guys who was really impossible to find online, let alone in stores, but somehow I was able to find him. Not in the Transformers section, mind you. I actually found him and another copy about 2 aisles over in a random part of the Lego section, so I guess some scalper's mom had told him no, so God bless that woman, she's doing wonderful work there. Anyway, I know you guys probably don't care about that, so let's just get into what you actually wanted to see. Now to just go ahead and get this out of the way, this is a heavy repaint and recolor of the original Studio Series 86 Hot Rod release from a few years ago. That was actually my third or fourth Transformer I ever bought for my collection. And if you want to know how extensive the changes are on this one compared to the old one, yeah, the changes are pretty apparent. I'll get into this more when we get to the robot mode, but just the different vibe that these two figures give off, despite being like the exact same everything, like vehicle mode, robot mode, transformation, it's all the same. But just the different vibes that these two vehicles give off, I think is kind of what I found the most interesting while I was, putting everything together for this. I will admit the one area the original figure has the new one beat are in these pipe sections. Because one, I think this color looks a lot nicer than this. Maybe this is animation accurate, but I just think it looks uglier compared to this. Secondly, if you can't tell already, I'm just going to zoom in for your benefit. I broke those pipes. So I was transforming this guy, and I was handling him just a little too hard, and I broke this tiny little piece off of that pipe, and this is supposed to act like a clip to hold everything in together, so now it doesn't hold together very well at all, not even on the other side. So yeah, now instead of this, now you get this. Yeah, isn't that terrible? But if you're just like me and you hate the color of these pipes, and they no longer hold together, I do have a teeny tiny solution for you. So what you can do is you can actually remove these pipe pieces from the vehicle mode. And it's actually pretty easy to do. But before you do that, make sure, if you want to, you can untab the legs from the vehicle and then fold, and then fold these up back into, back under the hood just so they don't break while you're messing around with the arms. But what you want to do is you want to just take this and then just pop that off. These come off really easily on the new version, by the way, so that won't be a problem at all. And just do the other side. They both come off pretty easily. And then what you want to do is you want to start on this side, because you'll just take that off. And also there's just like a tiny little lip right there on the side that is closer to the vehicle mode, so just pay attention to that, because I accidentally took off this part first, and then, yeah, I broke another piece. I didn't mean to break it that easily while on camera, but, yeah, that happens. But then just do the same on the other side like that, and then just set him off to the side and do the other one. All right, and once you have all these pieces separated, what you want to do is you want to take the arm pieces right here. You can actually see where I broke it off there on camera. If my camera will focus, he's not gonna. But then what you'll do is you'll just turn this around and then just pop that part out. And pay attention, because when you have it like this, with this little piece right here, this tab is a little bit shorter than this tab. Again, if my camera will focus. No, it's not going to cooperate with me today. But you'll just pop it out like that, and then vice versa when you put in the new pieces. So you'll just take that and put it to the side. And then, like I said earlier, you'll just put the longer part in first, and then put that one on. And then once you have everything swapped out, you'll just put them back on the robot mode. All right, once you have your new Studio Series 86 hot rod, you'll just take your newly swapped pieces and just pop them in the arm like that. And these silver pieces, they stay in a lot better. So that's another advantage that these things have over the new ones. But you'll just snap them in like that, and then put this back in like so. So also, these are a lot sturdier than the new ones. So there's that. All right, and then just fix everything together, and that holds up infinitely better. And and here they are with each other's pipes. Now, the only reason I swapped them around was just because I just think the newer ones look uglier. I did not know they would break so easily, which is not Hasbro's fault at all, by the way. I was being too aggressive with this thing, and I just wasn't being gentle enough. So if you have the new version but you don't have the old one, just be gentle with your transformation process. You might have better luck than I will. The new pipes aren't all that bad anyway, because they're still Blast Effect compatible. Yippee! Now, before we get into size comparisons, I just want to point out one more thing that the old version and the new version both share. They both have weapon storage. Yes, this qualifies as weapon storage. And if you don't believe me, it's in the instructions right there. And it's a thing on the original toy as well, so you can't get mad at me this time. Now, let's get into size comparisons. These are all going to be Studio Series 86 releases, by the way. Here is Deluxe Class RC, Buzzworthy Bumblebee Deluxe Class Cup, Voyager Class Wreck-Gar, Leader Class Megatron, and Commander Class Optimus Prime, without his trailer, of course. Alright, now let's get into the transformation. Spoilers, this is one of my favorite figures to transform. He's such a fun little desk toy. Like, I always find myself just messing with him and just flipping him back and forth between his two modes. So what you want to do first is pop open his hood, and then just fold these back up into there, and then just kind of leave that loose for now. And then take the arms and loosen them from there. By the way, they really tightened up the shoulder joints on this new release, but we'll get into that when we get into posability. And then just take the legs and just pop them out from there, and then lift that up, twist it around, and we'll get back to that in a second. And then just kind of split the legs apart. He's got a beautiful spread, even in vehicle mode. And then just unpop these, and just undo that, fold out the foot, and then take this little section and just fold it up like that. We'll get into this in a second, but actually I'll just go ahead and get into it now. What am I talking about? But this one does not like to tab in, so I might need to go in and sand these down a little bit. But based on everything else I've modified with this new release, I should probably stop there. So just leave that there. And then do the same for the other leg, like so. Just fold it out the foot. Fold that up. And then, see, that's how it's supposed to look. And then twist the entire waist around. And then lift this up and take the arms like that, and then just spin this whole thing around, and then tab that into place, and then take the head and rotate it out. Ooh, I'm giving away one of his gimmicks. He's got a visor. And just fold that down. Tab that into place. Fold that up. Twist these and put them like that. And thankfully these pipe pieces still fit on the new one. But anyway, you just do that. And there we go. It's Hot Rod from the movie. And this is what I meant when I was talking about the different vibes these two give off. See, this guy right here on the left, like, he's still a newbie. He hasn't, he's still got some naive optimism, but he's seen his fair share of battles, but he's still, he's still new to the job. While this guy here on the right, he just started last week, and he's all geared up and ready to go, but he is not ready for what's about to be thrown at him yet. So basically, these two figures represent what it's like to just start a retail job, and the guy on the left represents what it's like to be working on the job for 6 months. Anyway, let's talk about the figure that you're actually here to see, even though he is just a recolor of this guy. So let's get into it. I don't want to throw around the word perfect to describe this figure, but I think this is probably one of my favorite figures in my collection now. And I know that's super duper hyperbolic, but I just can't help it. Like, this was probably the figure I had the most fun, like, messing around with when I first started my collection, when I had the original. And this new one is still, like, just as fun as ever. And in these new colors and everything, I love it so much more. Like, that magenta with the orange and yellow and gray and everything just works so much better. And I can't help it. Like, this is so good. I don't mean to repeat myself, but I just love these colors. I don't mean to repeat myself, but I just love these colors. Not to mention, proportionally, it's just Hot Rod. It's just Hot Rod from the movie. I have no real complaints with this robot mode overall. Not until we get to the posability and everything, but trust me, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, just proportionally and just aesthetically, like, I love it. And when we're talking about things that are near close to perfection, I love this head sculpt. Like, this is just Hot Rod's, like, face, just perfectly put in toy form. I love it so much. And it can get even cooler in a second when we get to the accessories and gimmicks, but just, yeah, it's great. While we're on it, I love that they painted that little bit of magenta that's supposed to be his weird metallic fleshy collar, I guess you could call it. But yeah, I love that they did that. And they also went out of their way to not only, ooh, hello. Yeah, you can also see a little bit of that magenta on his, yeah. As well as that little bit of orange on the bottom of his knees, which just looks great. And as far as I can tell, it hasn't paint chipped or anything, so he's pretty sturdy too. But yeah, in terms of aesthetics and proportions, I absolutely adore this figure. Really the only thing that was kind of lacking for me was just the pipes, and I went ahead and swapped those out, and I think those old ones look pretty good. Now, if we want to talk about budget allocation, let's talk about all of this. He comes with a lot. Yeah, this guy has an insane amount of accessories. But not only that, he has a few gimmicks as well, so let's talk about those first. To start with the least interesting of his gimmicks, you can take his right hand, I almost forgot which one it was, and just fold that up and twist his fist around and close that back up, and he's got a little repair module. So now you can recreate that one scene from the Transformers movie. I think I might have missed a step. And then on his left hand, you can do the same thing and just flip that around, and you've got a 5mm peg, which you can use to attach this buzzsaw to. It spins really great too. I think the original buzzsaw is going to be another piece I'm going to borrow from the original, because this thing can actually spin. Look at that thing go. And like I said earlier, the peg for the buzzsaw is a 5mm peg, so you can use other accessories that work with that, like Optimus Prime's axe if you want to get sacrilegious like me. And for his final gimmick, you can open up his cranium and give him a lobotomy. Nah, I'm kidding. You just open up his head right there and flip out this little visor, and you can recreate that one scene where he started opening fire on an Autobot ship. I will admit the older one kind of has the new version beat out, just because I think the darker shade of blue looks a lot cooler than the light blue one. They went from making the visor look like a cool set of sunglasses to just plain old glasses.
Well, actually, Optimus Prime got himself killed because he did not shoot Megatron in the face right away. So technically, it is not my fault that he died. I was just trying to help.
That was one of the stupidest bits I've ever done. Now, am I going to swap the visors around? No. Both versions have them pinned in, and I am not smart nor skilled enough to swap those around. All of these gimmicks are present on the original release as well, so don't worry, they didn't add or change anything. Moving on to his accessories, he has 2 blasters, which I believe are accurate to the original G1 toy. And the first Studio Series 86 release came with these, but the big difference is these tabs right here that are meant to plug into the hood or the back of his robot mode aren't painted this time to prevent paint chipping, which is really nice. I appreciate that. And they are indeed both Blast Effect compatible. Yeah, it's cool and all he comes with blasters, but I don't care because he comes with his sword and his shield from that one scene, which I think can sum up a lot of his accessories and gimmicks, is just, hey, do you remember that thing from that one scene in the movie? Well, here it is in toy form. You're welcome. And Primus bless them because this is the stuff I live for. Next, and probably the most important accessory, he comes with a Matrix of Leadership. I think I know where the paint budget ran out. Yeah, I think this is going to be another one of those things I'm going to have to steal from the original release because they actually painted theirs. Although it doesn't look too bad if you plug in this Matrix part from the original release. But for now, I think I'm going to give this one to my Mini-Me as a consolation prize. Pretty sure I mentioned this earlier, but the effect parts for the exhaust pipes still work for the new ones. So I guess Badassatron wasn't the only one with knife hands, huh? And last but not least, his final accessory is a fishing pole. Disclosure, this is the main reason I really wanted this figure. I mean, how could I not try to pick up this guy right away? He's fishing on the back of the box, for crying out loud. And on the front of the box, too. How can I say no to this? My Transformers can now go bass fishing like I always wanted. Well, I picked a fine time to start recording because they're doing yard work back there. So yeah, Hot Rod comes with a lot of accessories, which might explain why this guy almost cost $45 despite only taking up that much room in the box, which make him really fun to pose. But there is one more important thing I forgot to mention. The robot mode also has weapon storage. Sort of. I never said it was good. Now, posability for this guy. His head is on a ball joint. He can do a full 360 degrees. He can look up that far and look down that far, as well as some slight tilting action. If you untab the backpack, he's got a full rotation at the shoulder. He's got a bicep swivel and a bend at over 90 degrees. He can move his arm out that far, and if you move it up like this, you can get some slight butterfly joint action, but it's kind of restrictive. He's got a wrist swivel, and his fingers can open and close. He's got a waist swivel all the way around. He can kick up that high and kick back that much. He's got a thigh swivel. They're really tight, by the way. A bend at over 90 degrees. A beautiful spread. And a decent ankle pivot, as well as some front and back. Posability for Hot Rod is pretty good. I mean, there are some weird kind of oddities. I mean, like these shoulders do kind of tend to snuggle up next to his face. But honestly, I don't mind. Back when I had the original, this was honestly one of the more fun ones to kind of mess with for me. And yeah, you can get some really fun poses like this, or something like this with the sword and the shield. He can, of course, light our darkest hour. Side note, out of all of the Autobot leaders, I think Hot Rod holds the Matrix the best, mainly because I didn't have to mistransform him to get him to hold the Matrix like I had to do with Optimus and Ultra Magnus, because I had to untab these just to get him to hold it. And I just spent about a minute and a half trying to get Optimus Prime to even hold his Matrix, so yeah. And I can now pull off even crazier poses because I now have one of these. So now I can get some really awesome shots like this. Something like this if you still think the fishing rod is as cool as I do. Even something like this alongside Optimus Prime. Or even iconic moments like this if you want to be morbid about it. Ooh, I guess this is mine now. Somewhere out there, a G1er's PTSD just kicked in. And one more for fun. Here I have them doing the fusion dance. Yeah, this is the closest I could get him to do the fusion dance, bear with me. But you can sort of have him do the fusion dance and form into... I don't have a figure of Rodimus Prime yet. Now let's do size comparisons one more time before our final verdict. Here's Arcee, and Monstrosity. Sorry, I mean Cup. And Wreck-Gar. And Megatron. And Optimus Prime. Hey, did I trigger a G1er's PTSD again? Okay, here's Optimus Prime for real. Overall, I really like Studio Series 86 more than meets the eye collection Hot Rod. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a perfect figure at all, especially with some of the QC issues and not to mention the price, but I still really, really like it. Now, does this mean you should throw away the original Studio Series 86 Hot Rod in the garbage? No. No, of course not. I mean, I kind of have no choice now to hold on to the original one because I've taken so many pieces and parts from it, but honestly, I don't mind keeping the original around. But it all just depends on the vibe you want from your Hot Rod figures, and personally, I like them both just for equally different reasons. But no matter what color this figure shares, either way, it will have the touch, and it will have the power. That was one of the stupidest things I ever said, and I just said that earlier in this video! Anyway, that was my look at Studio Series 86 More Than Meets the Eye Collection Voyager Class Hot Rod. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm really sorry for the wait on this one. Just, a lot of life stuff kind of got in the way, but I hope it was worth the wait. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. What are your thoughts on this new Hot Rod figure? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe, and that's about it. See ya.